Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Mexpat Dating. Today, I'm going to be going over how sales and cold approach are one and the same, right? So maybe you're in sales, high ticket sales. I am as well. That's my main gig. And I've seen so many similarities between going out, talking to women, meeting them, going for the number, going for the close, and then going on a date, to meeting a potential prospect, telling them about the offer. If you are in sales and if you have experience in sales, that cold approach is really no different, right? The only difference is that there's a bit, instead of getting money, you're getting a potential relationship. So the first similarity is learning the offer. You really need to understand what you're selling. You need to understand what the offer is and how it can help them. Same goes for dating and when you're doing cold approach. How am I going to enter this woman's life and create a better experience for her versus going in and trying to get, right? You've heard about this term commission breath, and this can be the same for cold approach. Sometimes for guys, if they haven't had a lot of success or it's been, they've been in a dry streak, they can come off a bit needy and a bit desperate. And just like in sales, that's going to turn away the prospect. It's going to turn away the girl and she's not going to be into you. So remember, guys, it's really important to understand your offer. So understand you and what you bring to the table. This might take some time to learn, and hey, that's okay. That's what we're here for. We've helped dozens of guys learn how to master cold approach, and I've created a plug and play system that guys can implement directly into their cold approach to start getting results, start crafting that awesome offer, and start having the success in their dating life that they want. So fill out that application down below if you're ready to actually take your cold approach to the next level and find results with it. So again, though, you might not be there. You might not have understood your offer yet, what you can really bring to a table. And that's why getting repetition is so important. That's why going out there, getting lots of reps, doing cold approach pretty regularly is going to be very important for you. When I started my cold approach journey, I went hard. I did hundreds and hundreds of cold approaches. And for me, it took about 700 to figure out. So that's why, again, that's what I've developed this program, is so I can actually teach you guys how to not make the mistakes that I did. Because once I figured it out, it was like game over. And then it was a lot of fun. Just like in sales, like once you learn your offer and you're able to feel confident on that call and you're really able to let the person on the other line know how you're going to be able to help them. Same goes with cold approach and dating. You want to be able to bring some value to the table for the woman. And that comes over time. That comes over understanding your own inherent worth. And then eventually that's going to translate to the woman, where she's going to see your confidence and she's going to see that you are strong, you do have experience, right? But step one is getting that experience. The second reason why sales and cold approach are so similar is objection handling, right? And obviously this comes up if you're doing sales. They might ask like, okay, does this really work? A girl might be thinking that too. Are you really who you say you are? And are you actually going to provide to me this guy in front of me who's maybe confident and assured of himself? If I sign up for a date with this guy, am I going to go on this date and be bamboozled, right? They are taking note of that. Same with the person on the call. They're asking themselves throughout the call, is this going to be worth it for me, right? Now, again, coming back to the offer, the more confident you are on the offer, the more you can assure them that, yes, this is going to help you. If you sign up for X program or get this product, this is really going to take your business to the next level, or your personal development. Same with the woman. You want to have that confidence that, yeah, like I am going to add value to your life and it's going to be worth it to go on a date with me. So objection handling, though, sometimes you're going to get, I'm not sure. And this comes more in the beginning. So know that once you learn the offer, just like in sales, you're going to get less objections and people are going to trust you more because you're way more confident in what you're selling. For me, when I'm cold approaching and I get an objection, I typically just, not really feeling it. Some common objections are, oh, I have a boyfriend. Oh, I'm not interested. Oh, I'm super busy. When I hear that in cold approach anyway, I typically say, okay, this girl's not super interested in me, and that's okay. Versus in sales, obviously, you want to handle the objections properly. But in the beginning, if you're starting off, I would say actually a bit of a difference is that you want to avoid getting those objections in the first place. You're going to get them and it's going to be humbling and it's going to be good for you because you're going to see that, okay, maybe even though I was talking to this girl for 5 minutes, she didn't see me in that sexual way. So I need to work on learning how to be more flirtatious in a cold approach. There's a ton of videos on our channel that talk about that. I need to learn how to create a spark. I need to learn how to do assumptions. I need to learn how to get her engaged and laughing and having a good time versus very boring platonic conversation, which is most guys do. So once you get that down and you start to nail in your conversation style and really be confident in that, you're gonna find that you don't get as many objections. They might give you I actually have a boyfriend, and that's okay. And there's been many times I've gotten that. I've still added it on Instagram because I'm like, hey, no worries. Like, I do events and stuff. Would love to invite you guys out sometime. And I look at their profile, and the first picture is her kissing her boyfriend. So it's actually true. And when your cold approach is dialed, you will get girls that, the rejections will not be rejections on you. Typically, it will be because something is in their life that is preventing them from, dating you. And that's a really good sign. Same like in sales, once you really understand your offer, and you really typically won't get many objections besides like, this isn't the offer for me. Like, this actually won't help my business. And they're really transparent with that in a good way, versus when you're selling to people that aren't financially qualified, for example, you're going to get a lot of like, I don't have the money, I don't have the finances, and then you have to really work on handling that objection and stuff. And it's challenging. It's a challenging thing. So thankfully in cold approach, you can get good enough to where you don't need to handle many objections because you're so solid in your approach. And the last piece, guys, is the close. And this can be understood by just the word of it. When you're going for the close, how are you doing it? Do you have that commission breath a little bit? Because if you have a commission breath in the cold approach and you try to go for the close, get the number, she's going to sense that and be like, yeah, something's not quite off. So an example of that would be, let's say you've been talking for a little bit and you're like, yeah, so can I get your Instagram? And it's just kind of like that, just kind of out of the blue. If she really likes you, she might say yes. But oftentimes they'll be like, yeah, no, that's when those objections come up. Just like in closing and in high ticket sales, if you're like, or any kind of sales, if you've been talking for a little bit, you're explaining the product, and then you're just like, okay, do you want to buy it? They're going to be like, it's going to be kind of out of blue. And they might have been on board, but because it was so awkward and so, it just comes off as if the whole conversation was you trying to get the sale. And obviously you're trying to get the sale, but you need to relate on a human to human level. You can't just be going in with the attitude of I need to get something out of it. When I do the close, I like to say, hey, I thought you're really cute. I'd like to take you out sometime. And that's it's a giving statement. It's like, I'd like to take you out on an adventure. I'd like to give you something, right? Not like, can I get something from you? Can I get your Instagram? Can I get your phone number? Same within sales. Like, hey, man, I think this can really help you. And we'd like to give you this opportunity to work with us to change your life with this X, Y, or Z product. And that sounds a lot better than, okay, man, so yeah, why don't you give me your credit card and we can get you signed up? I guess actually that could work sometimes, but if they're really bought in. But a lot of people will be like, whoa, buddy, like, slow your horses. I have some questions. Or, that was a little weird. Maybe you weren't really interested in me and what I wanted. You were maybe more interested in getting this sale, right? And if you have any sales experience, you're really going to crush it in cold approach once you start putting in the reps in, putting in the work, just like in sales, putting in the calls, putting in the dials, if you're setting or anything like that. And you will learn and improve on the skill over time, but you got to be consistent with it. Once again, I'm here to help you with that. You can fill out the application down below for a chance to work with me directly and really figure out how you can start putting these pieces together with my plug and play system. Have helped dozens of people, and I'm looking forward to helping you too. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.